I apologize for the technical difficulties.
Do we know how long we were off?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I will just quickly recap. We did 3 greater restorations. First one, he was in pain. The second one, pus started oozing from the area of effectiveness that was his leg. He was thrashing around, everybody had to hold him down.
Yep.
And during the third greater restoration, the orifice popped off of his body, he fell on the ground unconscious, and now there is a curled up 3 to 5 inches miniature Oscar that is sitting on the table, covered, or not covered, but it's draining off of him, miniature Oscar.
So yeah, I'm gonna take my bag of holding, open it up, slam it on top of the miniature Oscar, and just kind of slide close.
All right.
the bag of devouring.
Yeah.
Say, did I say holding?
Yeah.
Whatever.
We get to just.
Yep.
Mom.
You're out.
I'm gonna check on Oscar.
And I like how I'm pretty much bottomless since they had to get to my leg.
Yep.
So my ass is really in the air.
Yep.
You know,
By the way, by the way, he still weighs and has the same amount of muscle. He just has less strength.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
so when I was like this
He's
before,
drugged.
he stuck a flower in my ass. This time I'm gonna put pants on him. And I put pants on him.
All right.
Oh, we might just cover up the hole in his leg?
How was that divot looking?
Have you ever taken a scoop out of ice cream?
Boy!
I kind of look at the cracks. Should we have another one for that?
I have a long shirt. Hold on.
That's another greater restoration. You don't want to cover that up.
Wait, really? That's another. I was gonna use.
If you want to cover it up, yes, this isn't a cure.
Okay.
Will it heal over time?
It will need more greater restoration over time. He's going to be walking funny for a bit.
Let's just.
How much?
Just 740. Just give him the money.
Here.
You have another 740.
Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no
Okay.
objections. So another.
I fall back on the table.
No, he took it on the ground. He's just doing it straight on the
I
ground.
think we're gonna want to replace the tables.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
gone.
So
Hey, that thing that you made, like, why'd you put it in your bag?
that's a bag of devouring.
I'm hoping we'll never have to deal with it again.
You can take the table with you.
I don't think. Can we fit that?
How about? Don't put your hand in the bag. How big can you get?
Wait, don't you have a
I
spell?
break it up, shove it in pieces. I don't care. I don't want that in the air
Don't you
anymore.
have a spell that shrinks objects?
Enlarge reduce?
Yeah.
He tends to your leg. Skin starts
Wait,
forming
hold
around.
that. And before you do anything, I'm going to cast Mage Hand, pick up the table, you open it up, and I drop it in.
You kind of have to like shimmy, jimmy,
If I look down, can I see anything?
just emptiness.
You look into the abyss and it stares back.
Alright.
I forgot I had this stuff.
But yeah, like, so there's a divot in your leg, and skin just kind of forms over top of it, and it bulges up a little bit. It's starting to inflate, but there's still like a good 2-inch divot in your leg.
We are cutting into a bunch of bit. Maybe this is
No.
fine.
Okay.
Greater restoration doesn't do anything like that. You'd probably need just a good smack in the face or something.
I got the HP for it.
I'm gonna press a digitation a little bit of water to fall on his face.
You feel like snowy drizzle on your forehead.
You good?
Who am I?
Ow. You good?
What happened?
Well,
Do you want?
Ooh.
It's fixed.
Do you want the long version or the short version of
You
the story?
notice the cleric and the assistant pick up their tent, walk a few spaces back, put it down, close the curtains.
Do you
We're done for today!
Thank
Do
you!
you want the long version or the short version of what happened to you?
Quick, just fast.
Your leg had a baby and it left a hole.
Avoid baby.
Whoa. What did you just say?
Your leg had a baby and it left a hole.
Fetus?
It was made out of
It
wood.
was tiny you. It wasn't really a fetus, but it was like you, but curled up like a fetus.
Small you.
Weird.
Purple, pink purple.
Yeah.
Mother Gotham told me about this.
We fed it to the bag.
I could have raised that. Over there.
It was void.
I don't think
It was void.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Have you never heard the bardic tale of Ash Williams and the Evil Dead?
We could shake the bag
I don't
and
know
see
much
if it
about
falls
the
out.
You know, I'm actually gonna do a history check on that, so that's
No.
if I know.
Okay, you can certainly try to reach into the bag and see if it's still
I'm
there.
morally opposed to
I
human
am
touch.
too. I can cast Mage Hand again and check for you.
No, it's fine. But
I'm going to pray to whatever gods might be listening that the rest of our visions aren't so literal.
Oh, mine probably will be. But
Oh,
I'm
I
not
really
really
hope.
You only feel your heartbeat.
Hooray!
awesome. I'm going to limp to the bath station.
You cannot move off the ground.
Here, I'll help you up.
Yeah, just.
You lost. What you have? You lost 17 points of strength and literally gave birth. You cannot move by yourself.
Can I carry him?
Does
Yeah.
this, do you,
I mean, if you
I-
roll high enough on your strength.
Two people can fashion him
It's
up.
a strength
Put
in
it in
the
the bag.
You're making
The bag of holding.
Oh lord. What's your strength?
My strength is 12.
You're the second strongest now, so you want to help with those scars?
Sure. Is that a straight strength check, or is that like?
It takes you some time, but you carry.
I thought I would forever have the lowest strength. I guess I was
remember,
perfect.
health is a thing.
Am
I
able to
know,
move
but
freely once
still,
I'm there?
you know, I want to make sure if it's strength or
It's gonna
athletics,
take you some
'cause
time,
I
especially with the traumatic
I-
experience you had within
I
like
had
a
18
10-minute time span.
You're lifting something.
It was a
Well, no,
drastic
I'm checking for
Now I gotta
athletics.
worry about
Yes.
drowning in the bathtub.
Specifically athletics.
They got you covered. They've got like a little fashion harness thing.
Because I have the higher score.
Anyhow,
I'm not
rest
You,
saying-
up.
you guys don't need to roll. It's good. You take time. You bring them over.
No, I'm not like
We're not
speaking
weaknesses.
in reference to like athletics, because what's your athletics?
I have
Dun,
a plus
dun,
8.
dun.
I never mind. We're fine.
So yes, that happened.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. That hurt a lot.
Yeah, let's.
Here, it can't be worse than a fireball to the body.
Yes, it can.
It hurt worse than the lightning bolts hitting me.
Well,
I
that's
would
good.
probably
Did
say
I-
that would have been the
Maximus.
equivalent of 10d10 necrotic damage.
Maximus.
Probably.
Who knows what level that fireball was that hit me?
Maximus.
And then it had all my power ripped out.
Maximus. Albeit accidentally, I suffered a fireball in last fight, and I can guarantee you it did not look as painful as that.
Wait,
You did not
fireball?
see
Was
the-
it? Oh well, yeah, it wasn't the equivalent. Use grease. I forgot.
It was
I'm sorry.
grease,
It
like,
wasn't a fireball. At your
the
feet. It was just a
jam-
fire attack.
The damage output was equivalent to a fireball, but it was not in any way a fireball.
Yes, but it was
Anyhow, how much
close.
is the bathhouse going to cost? For everything that's doing that.
2 gold apiece, so
Yes.
10 gold.
So, yeah, 10 gold.
Yeah, mark it down.
Oh, group funds?
Yeah,
That's like
that's a
we're doing
group
it together.
thing.
I wonder if is everyone going to pay for themselves or is this as a group?
It's just
It's a group thing.
It's
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Tango.
Your food, your housing, your utilities, that's now group fund
Yeah.
indicated. Anything that the group does is group funds.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm exhausted. I'm going to take a nap right there in the tub and lay my head back.
I cannot blame you.
I'm getting it.
Start slipping under you guys.
I'm getting it.
So this
Not
level
against
is
you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
God,
what
man,
time is
not
it right now,
with you.
Zach?
It's still morning. It's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah. We
We're
probably
ready to
woke.
head out after
We
this?
probably just woke up
There's
late
one thing
sleepers.
I want to do.
Anybody who was not a farmer that's been in the town, they kind of just watched as they took you, walked you away, and just like,
So after this bath,
At least I'm not that guy.
like a mother of 7 children, just like, I'm not in.
Oh man.
You did it 7 times.
No.
I did it once.
I don't think it was out of her leg.
Goodness.
So after this bath, you guys want to head out to the capital?
I want to make
Yeah,
a
oh.
quick shot at
Yeah, we gotta get him. We gotta let him rest, so we might as well do it on the ride.
Well, actually, while he's resting, I want to make a quick stop at the Tinker Shop.
How do my boots look?
How about we get
They look like they're dented.
I'll join you there.
I might need to get a new pair of boots.
Well, we can get them appraised.
Good point. Yeah.
So yes, we'll come along as well.
You're not entirely sure if you can appraise that sort of machinery because it's not a common item that people have a good wear.
No,
I meant,
go to
give
the
them
tinker shop.
I meant to give them appraised by the goblins.
Oh, sorry.
Fix it.
Okay, you mean repaired. Appraise is like how much is this worth?
Oh, we mean appraised for durability.
Wait a second. You sold the spider, right?
No.
No.
You still have it.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
We just haven't been doing stuff with it anymore.
Did you just ask me that in game?
No. We don't know it exists. What spider?
I mean, did you say that in game?
No.
No.
I don't know
What
what
spider?
spider.
Anyways.
So you guys head
Like, I don't even know about the spider, so I
Alright,
can't
You
ask.
guys head over to the Tinkers?
Yeah. Well, we probably
I
take
don't
along
know
with
who I
us.
Well, will I be able to kind of stumble drunkenly?
No, you
No.
carry it with your
Not for
friend.
the rest of today. You can walk tomorrow at a slow pace, but for today, you're.
You basically have no legs today.
Just take me to the end.
We'll take him to the end, then we'll go to the shop.
Got it.
Wiggly fingers, well, jiggly legs.
Minimus is gonna watch over you.
Perfect. Then we go.
Minimus
I guess we're all
defend.
Sure, I'll change him into a dragon if need be.
We might actually be able to fight with
You
people.
would have the strength of a dragon.
You get all your stats.
But your mom was you're not you, so you wouldn't have the drain.
As everybody
And he's
leaves,
technically
I'll look
him,
at
but he's not him at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. He's not you physically.
After everybody leaves, I'll look at
Mentally.
How are the cats?
Maybe if you come visit.
Well.
I'd like to come visit the Fae sometime.
Yeah. I mean, I've told them stories about you guys. So it would be nice for them to meet you.
We're
I'm
laughing.
feeling better. Shit, let's be.
We're laughing. It's not her.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever want to go what you went through.
What's
And I'm a woman.
How big was it?
Thanks for the celestial.
About my size.
Oh, well, I guess that's answers
Ooh.
this one.
Like, you know.
And she's like this big, right?
Plenty of gods.
She's about
She's
5,
close.
6 inches.
Okay.
That's
maybe
a
about
foot.
a foot,
Yeah.
But will he be?
Well, with her wingspan, it goes up to a foot.
Oh, yeah.
Like her head size is like 5 to 6.
Okay. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Alright.
Alright, well, we are.
So you guys are
Yeah,
going
let's
to
go.
Tinkers?
Rest the fuck.
Yeah.
Yep, I guess the rest of us are going because I still have my power.
The longest of rests.
You will need it.
Alright. Get to the Tinker shop.
Well, I'm taking my own rest.
Got it.
So that way y'all can converse.
You see 2 other people meandering around the store, and you see Tar of the front desk.
Tar?
Ah!
Hey.
Morning.
Morning to you.
I wanted to inquire about the surge beam. I noticed that the range was a little shorter than I preferred. Is there a way for me to maybe upgrade that to go a little farther?
Unfortunately, no. That's the farthest it can go with actually doing anything. We don't have any more powerful lenses that can make it go farther.
Nothing?
Nothing that we have, no.
What if you did have something?
Do you have pure diamond? I can make the lens stronger. Right now, all we have is really quartz.
Well,
Probably pick something up at the capital.
maybe. That would certainly be more help.
If you have a higher quality glass material that isn't glass itself, we could probably make the lens a little bit stronger. But other than that, it's basically as strong as it can shoot.
Alright. Well, I'm glad to clarify on that.
Of course.
And I'll just do a routine checkup for all my other stuff, see if it's in working order.
Alright.
So
As long as that's okay, we just want to make sure all of our equipment's in.
He checks all of your equipment. Nobody's really needed to take fall damage from your boots. Your glasses don't really go in combat, so nobody's really been punched in the face.
the only one that
Would they have any
would be my
UV?
evil lens, but I haven't used them.
Does anybody need water?
No.
No? Alright. I've got more bottles down here for myself.
I've got more syrupy poison.
No, nothing seems to be in disrepair.
Sure.
If you were to take a numerical account, at worst, your things might be at 75% condition.
Okay.
That works, so.
Alright. Well, other than that, do you have anything else in stock? Anything new?
Nothing not per se, but you were curious about your whip.
I was.
You were. I will have the paper for you next time. But essentially, it is an electrified whip that has similar properties to the surge beam, where it has a certain number of charges. You can either A, expend a certain number of charges to add an electrical effect, or B, use that electrical effect instead of damage, but to shock the coils of the whip to extend.
Oh.
And then it has the same properties of that you need to charge it and recharge it using electricity in order to bring it back.
I got you covered on that.
So it's the properties of a whip. 6 charges. 1 charge, add 1d4 lightning damage. 2 charge, your next attack is 15 foot range.
Okay, so that's like use the charge and then it's ready for the next attack that happens?
Yes. So effectively, if you use your whip for all 3 attacks, you can do 2, 2, 2, and use all 6 charges for 15 feet each.
I just like
He has the
casually
manual.
hand you the manual for how recharge works.
But it's not even a snoring sleep. You're just
Dead.
Minimus like pokes you. She sits on your
It's
chest.
like I just
She's never seen you without armor.
You probably couldn't even lift Minimus.
Yeah.
I'm closer to that's the best part.
Minimus is sitting on you and you're like, I can't get up, too heavy.
I'm just randomly starting to hear this for whatever reason. I'm just like, oh, it's going in my head. Stop
So,
shocking
yeah.
yourself.
You have your whippet.
Whip it.
Whip it.
I'll call it a whip it.
Whippets.
Yep. But yeah, I'll get you that sheet of paper later.
How much do I owe you?
You already paid for the materials.
So,
So nothing. But as of noon, I mean, we've tinkered around with a few things, but without supplies, we can't really try anything extensive.
I'm ready to head out.
Yeah, I guess in that case, we're ready to head out.
So tomorrow we'll head out to the capital?
Tomorrow? If it's a 7 days travel, we could
Oscar can't move.
It's still morning though.
I guess we can move him
And
onto
yeah,
the
we
car.
just put him onto the car.
Then we move out now.
Yeah. After all, he needs the rest of
Yes.
those days, so.
We head up now.
Yep, we grab Oscar and we get a.
Oh wait, up look off in the sun. We should go
yeah.
look for him.
And his friends.
yeah. Just
Yes.
confirm things first, then we'll try to wrap it up.
So
I leave to our
I hate my thought.
you go and search around. It takes a good 15-20 minutes. You do notice that the son is back at Mother Gotham's place, so you tell him, hey, we're about to leave and stuff like that. And he's like, alright, I will meet you at the north end of the town.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
We'll be there soon.
Alright. You meet your friends at the stables.
Alright.
And they seem to be getting their stuff situated on a cart. And they seem to be getting ready to pack up, but this cart has various of other supplies on it. As you see a familiar driver sitting at the front of the cart.
Hey, Charles!
Hello.
I just run up to. I don't even acknowledge the other guys. I just run up and hug Charles.
Oh, yes, it's nice. Yes, hi.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I gotta do my job. I have to travel.
Looks like you're carrying these guys. They're my friends.
Oh, yes, I mean, they just paid for my service to head to Rorstein. That's my next stop.
Oh. I just go over to Jeremiah like, you guys, you're gonna love him.
I mean, he's been quite a, I wouldn't say chatterbox, but he has some stories that he's been telling us.
Oh, you've read with him before?
No, like, we've been setting up on the cart and we've been talking to him.
Oh.
Like, for the past half hour, maybe.
Well, my one piece of advice for you, when he starts going, hang on tight.
Okay.
What?
Okay, thanks.
So, yeah, you might actually make it there before It's just us three now, right?
I would imagine all
All
four of you.
of
Yeah.
us. Okay. It's like,
Yeah, I'm still last off.
yeah, you're passed out. So that makes
We're
sense.
loading him onto the cart.
Yeah.
So I take it we're gonna meet you down at Workstein?
What?
No.
Or
We're going to the capital.
oh yeah, the capital.
Wait.
I forgot.
Oh.
Don't worry, we're probably going to head to the capital next in our circular route. Either the capital or the eastern city. Or it's not eastern, northern, because that would be eastern.
Well,
It won't be years the next time we see you.
That's one way of putting it.
It's been so long, yet it's been too soon.
You really want
It has, but understandably, you have your
Alright,
move and we have ours.
Hmm.
But war doesn't stop for anybody.
Oh no.
But thank you again. We appreciate it.
So, when you do get back, just make sure you really show those Harpers a thing or two, you know?
Don't worry. We've actually been reading. We're trying to get some belts.
Belts?
Yeah, I mean, some fancy looking belts from some giants.
Can I do a nature check on
I
that?
think that'd be history.
Would probably be an arcana.
Yeah, Arcana. I thought Arcana. Okay. Okay, that's a 17.
You know that there are various belts of various giant degrees that increase strength modifiers.
Are you sure?
Oh. And so where exactly are we going to find this?
Oh no, we just read it in a book.
Oh.
It's just another thing on our list.
Oh.
We don't know where to find it, but
Hmm.
it's just another thing that we put onto the list.
I just like look over to Maximus like, do you know anything about these belts? Giant belts?
We're doing that funny Arcana checks. The know-all, true encyclopedia Braun. What was magic?
22.
Yeah, there we go.
You know that every single type of giant has a type of belt.
Oh, Belts of the Giants. Which one are you trying to find?
Any that we can find.
Each giant has a different level of increase to strength.
You guys aren't planning on going after that storm, are you?
No.
No, the giants don't actually have.
Yeah,
the
no.
belts.
Believe me, it makes you as strong as those giants.
Yes. You buy it in the store or find it in the dungeon.
I don't think you won't buy those things in the store.
Oh, no.
Very,
Not
fancy
normal
store.
stores.
Not here.
Maybe like
But
an underground.
it's just
store.
something else we put on our list. You know, kind of like a wish list.
On that note, let's go.
I wish you like Jeremiah.
By the way, nice accessories.
Yeah.
I guess you guys are traveling too.
Yep, we're going out to the capital.
Well, you guys have fun with that. We'll probably see you soon enough. We're gonna stay in this continent for a good bit.
Just give Theo my best wishes when you head back.
Well, if we get to make it back anytime soon. If not, we'll try and drag you along.
I'd love to see you try. These guys, just like I hug Saber like real tight.
Means they were currently holding it up.
No,
he's
he's
probably
at the end.
conscious.
He's at the end.
No,
We're
we're packing the
Yeah,
car.
we're going to bring the cart to the inn.
Oh.
He's the last thing you pick.
Okay.
Thanks for the affection.
Maybe we can take them with us if you guys have time.
You guys would love it there.
It's great.
I'm always proud to help out a good effort.
Hopefully nobody gets seasick.
I know.
I mean, I'm seasick, but
I like boats.
All right. Well, we will be out of your hair and we will be on our way. It was nice to see you again.
It was nice to see you.
Hopefully, next time we skip the tree part.
Like old times, though. You gotta
Yeah.
have the authenticity.
Yeah, and hopefully next time we have our entire party.
Once is a chance.
Just like
twice is a
group was
chance.
just like
3
wait
times
times.
is
You
6.
guys want ents?
Well,
Not
Or
even
times
as
it
it
is.
is. Alright. Well, That's the wishes.
Alright, so they collect all their belongings
Yes.
and they get on the cart. And the cart walks off to the main road and just starts to walk out the city.
I just like wave.
Let's get big boy.
Yep.
So like Maximus has to drag me back.
No.
I like you doing it for like the next 5 minutes till they're out of view. Like I still
In that time, we've gotten ready. We've gotten
Make a perception check.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. What in the... Oh. That is a 19.
So, outside walls of the city, you see the cart, you see the cart, you see the cart, you see dust.
Thanos.
They're dead.
Oh. It just hit me. They're riding with Charles.
Oh.
Get to the city wall.
That took me like a good 10 seconds to figure out.
Just road
I just like get so.
Alright, let us,
Do I see anything fall out?
No.
no, we get a star and
Ah,
we
they were prepared.
We pick up Mother Gotham's son.
Well, he's waiting outside, and you see her son. It's like it's a nice evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a butterfly gently floats on his finger. Are you guys ready to go?
Is that butterfly real?
Oh, so that's the door.
Yes, it's real.
Okay. Let's go.
All right.
Why, you afraid of hallucinations?
Roll for insight.
Illusions.
It's like roll for insight.
Ghibli appears on this guy's finger.
Okay, it was real.
What is this?
Our passenger.
That's a Gibbles. That's a wild Gibbles.
Ghibli just like, hi.
Ready to go?
Let's,
Ready? You see him just like,
What's Francis goes far in the back? He can't move.
Did he have too much to drink?
He gave birth.
We started with no.
I'm gonna need to hear this one.
You
paladins have had interesting lives. One of them gave birth to his leg, the other one
became a
one
druid.
I'm gonna sit in the front.
for the best.
I'll be in the front. Get go.
Alright. So, you guys got a 7-day travel ahead of you.
Oh boy. Let's just go medium fast speed.
Wait, whatever happened to the dwarf that we had?
No.
He just left.
The last time you saw them, they were in the bar.
Hey, they have their own things to do.
So,
Yeah.
out of 7 days, besides you,
I'll be sleeping all the entirety of the first day.
is there anybody doing anything specific?
Nah. Not this time.
No.
I guess.
I do have a question because in my satchel I do have potions of greater restoration.
Okay.
Would that help fix my leg more?
If you do a daily appliance to it, yeah.
Yeah. So for the first 2 days, or after the day of my entirety of sleeping, the next day I'll drink one, and then on the third day I'll drink one.
Alright. But is anybody doing anything specific?
Testing out my new whips. Is it whips or whip?
Wait.
I'll be reading my book.
Yeah. That one. I feel like they'd be pretty heavy if you had to.
Probably a monster book and a Abyss book.
Alright.
You just have a copy of the monster manual on you?
So,
Monster
how many potions are you drinking?
Monsters.
One per day for 3 days.
I have
So you're
I have
drinking two.
wand of cure wounds if you want.
You're drinking 2.
Is it-
Cure wounds is different than restoration.
Yeah.
Wait, those are potions of rest?
Yes, I have potions of greater restoration.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Where
I
did
thought.
we pick those up?
We picked them up in one dungeon. I can't remember where.
Either way, I thought you were talking about potions of healing. I could offer
Wait,
some.
I think it was when we fought the lizard guy covered in void.
Maybe.
Oh,
He got it out of his desk,
right.
I think.
I think
Yes.
yes.
And he got like a potion of superior healing from that
Yeah,
too.
because
Yeah,
I got
that's where I got
3 of those.
And that's why we're saving.
Alright.
I didn't drink these earlier.
That's a
So,
potion right
You're
there.
drinking, over the course of the 7 days, 2 potions of greater restoration.
Yes.
Alright. I will say It says for each of those days you spend resting and doing nothing more than light activity, your recovery time is reduced by 2 days. So, since you're resting for 2 days, and you've already technically had your day of rest yesterday, it takes those 2 days with those greater restoration, and then you would be back up to your normal strength by the 3rd day. Woo!
So I have full strength again.
Full strength month.
Oscar is back.
Oh, wait, on the 3rd day.
With drinking the 2 greater restorations,
Yes.
you've still got a decent scarring, but it's like a half an inch surface-wise.
That's not bad. That's just a beauty mark now at this point in time.
Yeah, it's got weird stretch marks that just cross the entire thing. Because it's trying to reform tissue. Even though it's magic, it's reforming tissue.
I have one more, but I'll hold on to that for a while.
It doesn't actually heal, it just speeds up the healing process of the human body.
That's not what tissues do. That's not how muscles work.
Dude, I'm joking.
Well,
It was
I need to
a
bring that in.
my hero containment.
Mine's not changed, dude.
Oh, here's your arm.
Yeah, so I'm full kitted up again.
We have our Oscar back, and we didn't encounter
Oh,
any
you wanna
monsters on the
do
way.
Yeah.
Well, my buckler,
That's part of his armor.
like all my entire just base arm set. You want to give him the green bag?
Are you sure? I kind of want it.
Oh yeah, because I got the black bag. It goes with my cloak.
Oh man.
You give me green, I can give him black. Or I keep black, you keep green.
Either or. I can give you my satchel.
I have a bomb in it. You know? I don't think you want me to give that to me, Chief.
I'm not sure if I want to trust a ranger with explosives.
By the way,
I keep
roll
my
a
satchel.
perception check. You all noticed it, but you kind of noticed it like a day or two after travel. Your hair's kind of braided.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Minimus. Oh. Minimus is watching.
That was like a true war.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it looks good on you. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Alright, I give him my dagger holding.
I transfer everything into the green bag and give him the empty black bag. Well, with his stuff.
Yes.
However, can I have 1,000 of your, not the group's money?
No.
Okay.
You should have thought that before you gave it to him.
Do you want the,
I mean,
do you want some of the explosives? I got 2 sticks of dynamite, 10 flashbangs, or the equivalent of flashbangs. Because we needed to figure out what to call them if they do.
They're just
Flashy,
canisters
flashy bombs.
that light.
The bags that.
Alright, I'm keeping the
They're
satchel
like
first.
canisters.
Like, I don't need any explosives. I don't know how to work that stuff anyways.
Hold throw.
I
I
can
tr-
so.
I'm not good at throwing. Because what, throwing is strength, right? Yeah, I'm
Yes.
not good at throwing.
It
I'm
does
like-
dexterity.
It's
Oh, is it?
Anything thrown is dexterity.
I see.
It's got like you're
So you
basically
have
like agility.
2 sticks of dynamite,
Yeah, he'll take it, man.
Dynamite.
and I'll split the flashbangs between the 2 of you. So
I'll
5
take
and
a
5.
flash. Alright.
How many flash?
5 and 5. I'm keeping my satchel charge because I plan to use that.
So I get 5
Only
flash
flashbangs.
bangs. So I get 5.
It's like at the very
Okay,
end of
extra life put that under.
the campaign, we're fighting the necromancing dragon, and you just throw it right into his mouth and you just set it off.
What kind of thing would I find that's similar to
Anybody else doing anything during traveling?
Yeah, I've been thinking about what I heard from Tar, or was it Gar? I think it was Gar, actually.
Tar.
Okay, Tar, and I just want to closely examine the lens on my surge beam, just to see what kind it is, if I can even figure that out.
Investigation at disadvantage.
Oh. Shoot.
That 20 and a 10.
Still on me.
It's a little circumference piece of glass.
Hey Oscar, would you be able to tell what kind of material the lens is made out of? Just like, I'm like,
I'm gonna do the dwarven thing and lick it.
crickets. Oh.
What do you call it? A bright bomb.
It's a service quartz kind of material. It's reflective. It reflects light.
I'm gonna call the flashbangs a bright
Thank you.
bomb. That's probably how it is.
Wait, I clean it first, then I put it back on.
I don't know how it works.
I'm enjoying my stream.
Yeah.
Haven't felt so weak before.
I feel good.
You feel normal.
Hair looks good.
I feel great compared to how I felt.
Oh yeah, there's no second heartbeats.
I know, slight dip in the scars, and I'll always remember my little bubba. I wish I would have seen him before you guys destroyed it.
It was void.
It was just a purple.
It was literally just you, but void.
It was my baby.
We can still shake out the bag if you want.
No, it's probably gone.
I know.
Like, open the bag and take a look.
But if anybody just rob us, you handle that back first.
Yeah.
And as I'm saying
If
that,
anybody tries to rob us, we'll kick their asses.
Yeah.
And then we'll
back
feel
first, see what happens.
And
that's
sucked in.
That's just
I'll put an arrow between them.
Back forward, so it's here. And then it'll
Lightning bolt. And then probably lightning bolt again.
Why?
Stop that, or I will feed you to the metal.
So, no.
Anybody doing anything?
I feed my bag at meals.
Alright.
At some point, it'll just stop eating you. It's like, Daddy.
You told me it was a creature.
I did. I told you it was a creature, and eventually
It's
it's gonna like
Oh
you.
my god, it's like
It's a
interdimensional
interdimensional feeding
Oh,
that
well.
eats.
Sorry.
I'm
Adoration
gonna
warns.
stop you.
Right there. So,
Like you fire arrows at
Maple is
because
alongside you while you
it's
travel.
like arrows don't
Let's go.
You've been going.
Yeah.
This is like the third day of going.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Is anybody doing anything else besides what you've stated?
We should be doing watch shifts.
Well, yeah, we.
Nothing really happens on this route. You've
Oh.
seen occasional people
please,
pass
please,
by.
someone try and rob us, please.
Oh, wait a second.
We need
of
the
course.
experience.
Maximus.
Menace.
The hearts, yes.
Alright, so over 2 out of the 7 remaining
Yay.
days, you get rid of the remaining. You get rid of the remaining those hearts, and then you get rid of the last.
Oh, I'm keeping that one on so I can read it.
Okay.
That's the whole point, is I want to read what it says.
Got it.
I'm doing this because I want to get the money out of it.
Yep.
I'm doing it for research.
Now that I'm feeling better and not
Oh,
like a
research.
fucking stupor, I want to ask Minimus, what you said in the room, that true?
Yeah.
Just let me know when I'm feeling better now.
Gotta find a way.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
Dimension jump. Playing your shift.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
You had no
I'm
idea
over
what
the
me and
table.
Minimus were talking about.
Alright. Anything else?
I'm just gonna look at the ring of wishing that's still on my finger. Or the
It just
extra
has-
wishing.
It just says jewels on it.
Can I tell what type of jewels they are? Or what are they?
Really mundane, like 5 gold piece. You assume that it's not the ring itself that was the valuable part of this ring.
Oh no, I just
It was
know
mainly
what
a
it
conduit of what it was capable of.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it.
I start peering over.
You got a pet.
So use the
A
wish
pet
to
that
get
should never be
towards the
petted.
back.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
You can bet the outside.
I think maybe that might work again on someone else.
No charges left.
And no more charges at.
Not in this.
Hmm.
If you can find a way to recharge it, by all means.
Let's
Sacrificing our firstborn, obviously.
We could have done that.
Alright, we could. What
I
do you
already
did? Sacrifice his firstborn.
Not. Dragon.
No, we already did sacrifice his firstborn. We need to wish back. Come on. Come on.
Anyhow,
We're getting
let's just continue on.
Yeah,
the
we
road.
go forward. Keep going.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
I can't think
Someone
of
please rob us.
I can't think of anything that I would do.
I mean, strike up conversation with Bubba, I guess.
Yeah.
He basically just tells you about his city life, how he's a illusionist by trade. He doesn't really do any life-changing magic. He does party favors when need be, and he doesn't exactly do the premonitions that his mom does, but he can foresee, like, the near future being like, hey, tomorrow's gonna be sunny.
So he's more of a showman.
He's more of a showman, but he does also have magical capabilities, so he can remove curse and whatnot. But it's mainly the showmanship and the sleight of hand thing that he does.
was just gonna ask about town, like where general location.
Town.
The city.
The city is an understatement.
The kingdom.
The capital.
Yeah.
Well, what you need to know is there are 2 rings. There's the outer ring, where 90% of the people live. And there's the inner ring, where 10% live. If you're a commoner, much like ourselves, you live in the outer ring. That's where you've got your barbers, your chefs, your tradesmen, your architects, your farmers, like anybody who has a 9-to-5 sort of job. The people in the inner ring are your 10%. Those are your nobles, your high-end businessmen, and anybody related to the kingdom itself. Now, from what I've heard from my mama, and from what you guys have been telling me throughout these little days of traveling, you'll probably want to go to the gate of the inner city. But they kind of have a little bit of paperwork that you need to do. Just don't assume that you're going to be getting in abruptly. Even if you got a letter straight from the king, or straight from the daughter, or whatever. Even then, it is going to take business days. Do keep in mind, it is a strong capital. But it is not a perfect capital. You've got your ruffians and your thieves and your swindlers and stuff like that. You've got people who are shady.
Silverleaf there?
Not just Silverleaf. There are other nefarious bands as well, and Silverleaf probably the tallest of them, but that's anywhere, good sir.
What about a black market?
Not that I really know, but I don't exactly go looking for it.
You just blatantly ask things you shouldn't ask.
Yeah.
That's mine. That's Victor.
As a matter of fact.
You see, I don't procure those items myself, so I don't go looking for it. I have heard that there might be one, but with as big as this city is, I don't doubt that there might be a few.
I just need to go find a decent weapon.
I mean, looks like you have a modified weapon right there.
Yep, but I want something with a little range so I can say look back and just poke.
Have you tried throwing it?
Well, crossbow, that's what this is for.
And then why do you need to poke something? That looks like it's a modified poker.
Sorry, I stepped on something. I just want something so I can just kind of like a staff, just to swing and smack people in the face.
Oh, there's plenty of items that you could probably look into.
Yep. I have one in mind.
Other than that, there's plenty of jobs that people come around for. Probably just ask around almost any corner, and there's a bounty board, there's a person who's missing their lost pet, there's a guy.
No, we are not helping that.
We don't need lost pets.
No.
Unless it's a dragon.
There's people who probably need help traveling from place to place.
That would be fun.
Well, we'll see how long it takes.
I'd love to be D&D Uber. That sounds funny.
Now, there's something that you can
It's
find
hard.
that somebody has a missive. Anything else you wish to know?
I would keep a like.
You've got all different walks of life. You got old, you got young, rich, poor, priesty, pissy.
What about the atmosphere? Are people friendly? Are they rude? Are they?
They're commercial. They talk to you by trying to sell you something, or they give you the passing hello. They won't ask you how your day was, but most people won't try to shake you.
That's all
That's
good.
Most people.
Is that only during the day or is that also at night?
Well, there's pretty good patrolmen at night too.
How big we're talking?
Better than where we just were.
Well, what exactly is the security?
And you got a few knights, you got a few guards. I've seen a bit of paladins trace here and there.
Do they have wyverns?
No, nothing like wyverns.
That's just work stuff.
It's just worse then.
I'm just gonna kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back and read it.
Yeah.
You go and they go a little faster. Well, let's hurry up and get there.
Anything else?
Yes.
Covered.
I guess I don't need this no more.
I mean, you can hold on to it if you want.
Alright.
You still technically have a ring of wishes. Technically.
We might be able to sell that to an idiot for a lot of money.
So, if nobody has anything else, on the 6th day, you're rearing up a hill. And it's about noon, 1 o'clock, and you get to the top of the hill, and the first thing that you see abruptly in front of you is just an entire elongated, crystalline, orange-pasted rectangle wall. From right to left, past the tree lines on both sides, an entire wall line just covers both sides of your building.
I'm going to take that's not part of their security system.
That's the outer wall.
Oh, it is. Oh, goodness.
So you want to navigate us into the inner?
Oh no, it's straight down. You just take this pathway and go straight into the city.
Oh no, to get us to the inner so we show the guards to get
You just follow this main road.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be driving?
Oh, I'll just jump off the car when you do.
Okay. Wait, you said. Did you say how high it was or?
No.
No. Can we see the top?
You can see from the distance you are, it's anywhere over 150 to 200 feet tall.
That's a good wall. It's a good wall right there.
Yeah.
Good wall.
Every about 100 feet has a ballista.
Oh.
That's
It's a lot.
yeah. I'm ballistas. And
Giant crossbows.
yes.
About as big as me.
Bigger.
The dart.
Oh yeah, the cart,
the bolt is
the
about
bolt.
as big as me.
And you said it was covered in like an orange paste.
Well, I mean, it's refined stone.
What kind of stone?
Think of like clay manifested magically to reform into a wall, and then fortified.
Is that like an arcana check?
It sounds like they just melded it.
Arcana check, I guess? Never mind, I don't know at all what they're referring
You
to.
think they just used mage hand and just threw clay and let it form on the wall?
It's just like, oh. Okay.
And don't be hitting that with a pick or anything magical. You ain't gonna
Oh,
get
so
through.
it's magic resistant.
It
It's a
ain't,
wall.
it ain't magic safe.
Okay.
We ride the rest of the way, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yep.
Takes you the rest of the day. Or not the rest of the day, it's around dinner time. You get to the main thoroughfare. And the main front gate goes up halfway, and it's 50 feet across on both sides. So each door is 50 feet.
Whoa.
100-foot span, goes 100 feet up, and just meets together in an arch. And it's cracked just about 20 feet so people can get through. And once you get onto the other side, there are cogs bigger than you guys that just line the backside of this door.
Oh, good God.
That gears and pistons and other mechanical things just go inlaid into the walls.
That might be why it's not easy to get in instantly.
You see an overview of like an overperch that goes 100 feet in diameter across. When you get into the city, you cannot turn in any direction without seeing a building. Like, in every single direction, there are different forms of first floor to 5th floor to 10th floor, different buildings, all with a different atmosphere around them. Some pleasant, some inviting, some mysterious, some run down. Take all the parts of Rorkstein and all the parts of Kunai and put them together, and you've got a population of about 1 person every 5 feet.
That's big.
You have never heard this much commotion in one area than you have heard in your entirety of your life.
I'm imagining India.
You can also tell that there are, kind of like Rorkstein, there are priests that patrol the town. Some in white robes and purple linens, some in yellow robes and green linens. Different attired ones, but they seem to be each accompanied by a knight.
Oh.
Nice.
There doesn't seem to be any familiar guards level people patrolling around. You do notice that there is the main street you're on. It kind of weaves in and out a little bit, but it goes straight down, and for about a half a mile out, it reaches a second elongated wall, where you can see a much smaller gate, but you see a very fortified pseudo-fortress that stands outside of that one gated area against the wall.
I look to our passengers like, just straight.
I mean, if you're trying to get to the paper man, yeah.
Okay,
You go.
we keep going.
Alright, about 5 minutes in. This is where I parked you, gentlemen. I appreciate the ride.
Where can we find your shop?
I work at the Now You Don't.
Now you do.
Huh.
If I'm not there, you can always talk to my assistant, Seek.
Thank you. I hope to see you soon.
Of course. He sits on the side, bends over.
Fancy.
I got
We should have asked them where we can find a hotel around here.
Where can't you find it?
Yeah.
You could probably throw a stone and hit 20 of them.
Or 10 people.
Don't throw stones.
Well, we should have at least asked them about the major locations here.
What do you think we talk about on the way up here?
Well, I mean, besides that.
You could probably find a tour guide.
Let's go get our papers, because we have a lot of paperwork to do.
So you head up to the main station, and it takes an hour to travel through people.
Yeah.
And even though this is the main road, you've never been in traffic before.
Yeah.
You take stops and starts, and do you still have Maple out?
Yep.
People look, give a passing glance, and like, okay, and they just walk
Don't see
along
that.
the day.
Yeah, how often do you see a celestial moose?
Instead of car honks, it's just a bunch of donkeys. Just
Donkeys and horses, yeah. You make it to the fortress area, and you notice, like, as soon as you get there, there's a offhand station area, and right outside the fortress, there's the long elongated gates, and there's a little like window area off to the side that has 2 people, one sitting, one standing, and there is a line of people, probably about a good 60 people out in front of this little window area.
I'll get in line if you guys want to go find a hotel. Might be wise. I'm used to waiting long times.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah,
I don't think you should wait alone.
I'll accompany you.
Sounds good.
they're both good at waiting.
And it has
Perfect. You can meditate
You
while
also
you're
got
there.
the group funding for a room.
Oh yeah, here's 1,000. So as he starts to take out 1,000 gold, which is 2 satchels,
Maybe not 1,000.
and hands it to Oscar, people are just looking over him like,
I just stare straight at them.
Write it down.
do we go?
You should have
You
just
really,
made the bag.
you really need to not be impulsive.
I like my bag. Wait, did you have money?
Yes, but use the group funds.
Oh, good point.
I actually have no money.
Yeah. Alright, so you wish to wait in line? Do you wish to have anybody accompany you?
He's coming.
Alright,
Minutes.
so
Invisibly. Minutes. Watch the bag. Sit on the bag, actually.
right, I hope you mean your bag.
Yes.
Alright.
Definitely not
It
his.
sits on your bag. Your party.
I guess we're going. We'll do some.
I also just say, like, you are stationing your guys at the stables.
Oh, yeah, we get off the cart. I think they take that.
Oh, you guys are taking the cart?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
waiting in line.
Alright.
No, we're not going to go anywhere.
And then, before they leave, I look at you like, if anyone tries to pickpocket us, I hope it's you. That'd be fun.
Would it be? See, I don't
You're
think
not there.
I know. Over the table, I'm not sure people would take it kindly just seeing someone get absorbed into his bag suddenly. It's like, well, there goes my friend.
Oh boy.
Bye.
So, your party.
Yep.
You're going to find a hotel?
Yeah, I'll look by, see if I see a nearby garage and ask where the
You see a
for
night.
a nice, just, hey, looking for a decent inn on new in town.
Probably the closest place would be, there's an inn tavern called the Best Rest. Probably about 5 blocks down that way.
There,
You do it here?
yep, here on business.
Have you heard anything about
Very little.
We'll tell you. We're the best knights around. But there's more of you guys than there are of us. So, we know your adventurers are strong. Just keep an eye out. If you so happen to catch any ne'er-do-wells, we do paperhead. So, there's this one character though.
Don't say a wizard.
He seems to be in, I don't know, what would you say?
The wiggly fingers?
No, not really. He's in like, what, black armor? Yeah, it's kind of like a chocolate, like black armor that's kind of like, it's warped metal. And it's got like little red veins coming out of it. And he's got like this weird spiky skull and long snout and like dark eyes. If you ever encounter that creature, if you ever encounter that creature, I would say keep your distance.
I'm gonna roll a knowledge to see, because that actually does sound familiar for me.
Alright.
Oh.
Nothing too familiar. You're not even entirely sure what sort of metal this man is talking about.
Okay. Yeah, because the way you're describing it, I was like, wait, is that armor? Oh, no, it was bone armor. Never mind.
Yeah.
Bone axe. That we just, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Because that sounds pretty corrupted.
How much for his head if I bring it in?
I'm pretty sure if you could bring his head in, you'd be a noble.
Oh. We have a mission.
Interesting.
I know what we're doing today.
It's like we're waiting in line.
Like,
and then they get
know
slaughtered.
I know what we're gonna do today.
What was your name?
Jeremiah.
Different
Welcome to the city.
Plot thickens.
And I go to the inn.
Alright, we go to the Best Rest. You guys go along with him. How long do you wish to wait?
We're waiting in line till it's our turn.
Alright.
We're the best waiters in this
I
group.
mean, how's this line moving? Is it moving?
Hope you guys like points of exhaustion.
10 minutes. Step forward.
Oh, that's
Hope you guys like points of exhaustion.
10 more minutes. Step forward. 10 more minutes. Step forward. There's still about 55 to 57 people still in front of you.
It's good thing I have food on us.
10 times.
It's been a half hour.
10 times
I don't think
50.
anyone else will be able to make this wait.
10 times 50 is 500.
10 minutes. Step forward. So what are you guys doing?
500 minutes
It's meant to be
divided
long.
by 60. Oh, you guys have quite a few hours to wait. I
We
would
can
like,
do it.
after we get the hotel room, I'd like to do some, see what they have, wares, what wares they have around
gonna need to keep how much for room for?
So you go to the best rest, and you see like it's actually it's a multi-level bar. There's the first floor where you've got most of the seating, and you've got the bar, and you've got the second one, which is more of like it's got more space where less of the tables are, and more of like a dance floor, and there's actually a band going up upstairs. And you see, like, it's a very common place for anybody from farmers to travelers to adventurers. Just almost every table is full. Alright, so you go up and you actually see like there's several bartenders, but there's somebody at the very end, like a cash register person, and he's just like, for how long?
I think we'll be. Let's say
A week? Alright. What type of room?
a room that can fit 6.
I mean, there's multiple rooms that can fit 6. Are you trying fancy or are you trying common?
Let's say fancy.
Fancy? Alright. 15 gold a night per person, so you got 6 people, so that's 90.
Expensive.
I mean, that's less expensive than
600
times here.
Alright. Would you like separate keys or one?
Separate.
Alright. He hands you out 6 separate keys to the same room. Woohoo.
I hand you 3.
Third floor, last room on the right.
Okay.
There's only 2 rooms on that floor, so it's pretty obvious which one you choose.
Okay. So I give them the key.
Hey, John.
Bye, John.
You said you gave me 1,000, right?
Yeah, I gave you 1,000, so
And it was
600.
650.
It's 630 because it was 9 times 70, or it's 90 times 70.
So it should be 370.
Damn.
It's 630, not 370.
No,
That's left over.
What's left over?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, like, okay, before we go out about on the town, let's go back and check in with that. And about how long would it take for us to walk back?
Since you only went like 5 blocks down, it's only going to take you 15, 20 minutes.
So they just.
Yeah, we see
They're
your.
like 5 people out from when you last saw them.
And they've been sitting there for about a good hour.
From what you've traveled and what you've done, yeah.
Key, have you moved? Oh, we've moved.
I see that they have an imprint.
There's like 7 people now behind them.
I got us a room.
Okay, how much?
It was
650.
Yeah.
Alright.
I paid for the entire week.
Okay.
And it's a fancy room.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
This
I'll
is,
give you your key, him the key, and Ghibli's chilling.
Ghibli's been with you guys, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
very,
He's chilling in the room.
quick line, isn't it?
Yeah, although I don't think they'd take kindly to us cutting.
I don't think anyone would with something this slow.
It's like 3 o'clock right now.
I think we just have to wait.
I mean, that's the assumption. I mean, it's possible the 7 people behind us have
The
made the
line
same
is to
assumption.
the outside of the inner
I'll
ring.
hold the spot.
Right.
Are you sure that's a wise idea?
Let's just.
Do you want to put it back in the group fund or?
Actually, would you mind jumping ahead and seeing if you can help talk with someone else?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I go forwards in line and I ask someone how long they've been waiting.
This is on the bag.
I've been waiting for a woman all my life, but I've never found anybody. Nobody will take an old man like me. I remember in 69, and I used to walk along with the ponies.
I move on to the
There was.
Come on, next to the line.
How long have you been
Bouncing
waiting?
in this line?
Oh, in this line? I mean, I've been waiting for about 5 hours if they would hurry up!
How far up is this again?
Good to know.
She's like 10 people out.
Okay.
From the front.
From the front, yeah.
Okay.
So I go back and I'm like, the person who's near the front of the line's been waiting there for 5 hours.
You know where that goes?
No idea.
Go check.
That's if they close.
Go check. We need to know.
I
Go down.
I guess I go back up. Does this place close or?
Are you in line?
My friend is.
Well, that sucks for you because you only get your answer if you're in line. Now go to the back.
Ask a random bystander. Excuse me, do you know if this place has hours?
Yeah, morning till night.
Have an exact time?
Yeah, whenever they should change the guards.
And when did they change the guards?
Every 8 hours or so.
I see.
And how long have you guys been? And that woman's been sitting here for 5 hours.
They're open 24/7.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of
It's
an
every
important
8
gate. I
hours.
doubt it closed.
We can't just stop a noble from going to his house if he's late.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So just go back. They're open 24 hours, but they change the guards every 8.
Okay.
So have fun.
Yeah. We'll change shifts on way.
I don't know
Even-
if that'll be a good idea.
I don't know. we
'Cause
talked
I
to
was-
person up
The people are so agitated. I'm pretty sure if you leave the line, they'll be like, "Oh, you lost the spot."
Then I'll just wait.
Yeah.
It's no worry.
I start reading as we wait.
You lose track and a bunch of people cut.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
it.
so
You need to
you
roll
guys
that
are
one.
still
one.
in line with 3 of you guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't just stay wait in line, just stay together. Like I'd feel better if we were all
Yeah.
together as a group.
This is really unnecessary.
Yeah.
There's plenty for you to check out.
Yeah.
We're
not gonna
we're
let
not-
us in.
We're not going to get in today.
But he's got the
No.
Yes, and we're not going to get in today.
Yes.
Go buy yourself a halberd.
Yeah, it's. We don't need that much.
let me borrow your bag.
I feel like I should have. You already have. Wait. You
Wait,
still have the black.
Any of you have money?
Yeah, I have money.
You have 800.
I
Yeah.
spent the last of my money there on petrified, dude.
Why didn't you mention this on the way here?
Yes, I'm not gonna exchange.
I was zonked out. You try giving birth through your leg, and then let me know how you
Bring
feel.
it down, bring it down, bring it down. There's other people around us.
I feel like my thigh and testicles are in
They're
my
taking more than we're I think we can
You
find-
said that someday,
Reception?
in a few days, we're gonna see like a best-selling novel come out. It's about a guy who just got a bunch of money and he gave birth through his leg.
I don't really want to exchange
So
everything
it's
out here.
Oh no! Alright. And it also comes from the mail.
What are you guys doing?
I'm
I
waiting.
like to go shopping. I'd like to take a peruse of like
You know what?
wares they have here.
We'll just go
Well,
window
he's not-
shopping. So wait for your team.
I hope you understand why I don't work.
We're going window shopping. Is there anything you want to look for?
I need scrolls.
I'll keep an eye out for a scroll shop.
Yeah, but if you can't buy anything, you can just look and see if people have it.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. Wizard scrolls.
I know how to ask.
But I can't use cleric scrolls.
I know how to ask the difference.
Thank you.
Ooh. Ranger scroll.
And a hat.
You.
A fancier, a bigger hat. Not bigger, same size. You asked.
I'll buy you a hat. Really big.
Alright.
And you do
So you guys venture out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Writes down he needs a big hat.
So what are you guys looking for?
Weapons and magical stuff.
Alright.
Yeah, I guess in here.
Maybe possibly a tinker shop.
Alright, so for those who are looking, they're perception checks.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh, well.
17.
21.
Alright, so there are different stores. You can get a rough estimation of the different stores, the different types of stores in this city. There's a tavern, there's a barber, a jeweler, blacksmith, leatherworking / fletcher, locksmith, brewer, cobbler, clockmaker, illusionist, bank, history museum, spell scroll maker, alchemist, stables, clothes design for magic users, 2 different types of temples, one for Avandra and one for Erethus, military barracks, industrial complex, gladiatorial bits, and general store. There's also bounty boards posted every which way.
Let's see.
I guess fly to the black.
You also notice, while walking around, that down one of the alleyways, a few stores down, you see a black cloaked figure bending to a padlock against the back door.
I just try to get Oscar's attention. Oscar.
What?
Looks like someone's trying to break into someplace. Maybe we should do something.
Well, the guard did say we get paid per head.
No. They have a magical clothing shop. I think so.
I want to do a perception look around, see if there's any guards around.
As long as we don't end up killing something.
19.
There's some guards a few blocks down that way, a few blocks up the other direction, but no within your immediate vicinity.
Okay. Alright, while we're doing this, I'm gonna walk down the alley.
Alright, I'm joining him.
I'm going with
Alright.
I'm gonna be a bit more sneaky, I guess.
You're gonna be sneaky?
I'm good.
Alright, well, if you're trying to be sneaky.
Stealth. 14.
Oh boy.
14.
Alright.
Oh,
You
shit roll.
tatter along and you're tiptoeing and whatnot, but seeing that these two characters in front of you are kind of like walking with an attitude.
I'm
Alright, so
just casually walking.
Yeah.
so you get closer, perception checks.
All those? Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh!
funny.
Well,
Nat 20.
You notice, because it's kind of a dark and lit area, you put your visors up. This man is not in cloth. He is in metallic armor. And he has glowing veins going across his armor pieces. And he is kneeling down, just...
They're gonna become nobles.
I mean, that would be cool.
Or
Stop
it's-
Oscar in his tracks.
The one we should stay away from. This isn't where I parked
Oh, did he want to become a noble?
Do we fight him?
Was not a full party.
I can't. Oh my god, this is where I'm at an impasse because I know what Overtail wants to do, but in game, be like,
He's a bad guy.
yeah.
I mean,
If you like smite him into oblivion.
roll the die.
Hey, Noah's not gonna be a
Run up
I don't
and
think Dylan's
destroy his face.
No.
You guys got this. You guys
I
got
rolled
this.
before I even said odds or evens is gonna be what?
Okay.
Yeah, so
I can just see Turin be like, get him in the bag, get him in the bag, yeah, get him!
oh no! I don't think it would work with that, would it? Would it work with someone that big?
We can certainly try.
Odds we go, evens.
Well, wait, before you roll, how wide is the alleyway, first of all?
15 to 20 feet wide.
They really work their allies.
What'd you get?
What you doing, buddy?
Yes! Turns over to you, an elongated snout mask covers the face. Pick him a lock.
Oh, your armor's pretty. Where'd you get it?
Oh, I made it myself.
Ooh. You a blacksmith?
That's one thing, yes.
So, you're breaking in here, right?
Yeah, I got a job to do.
Something you can share with the class?
Yeah. I mean, an old lady got her wallet stolen from her and we're trying to get it back.
Ooh.
Oh.
Inside check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you guys got it.
I should not. No, I will believe that.
That is a 20.
I rolled a 16 on insight.
I got a 20. He has veiny
Good looking.
Alright.
He can't be Robin Hood.
You believe that he's trying to retrieve something.
Does he even be 20?
You believe that he's trying to retrieve something. Yeah.
So, how close are you to getting the lock?
No, just so you know, there's guards a few little ways if you are actually retrieving something from the little old lady.
Good to know.
You don't seem too worried.
Not really.
Do you have a name?
People call me by many different things. I'm just, I guess I go by Tim.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim.
Don't look like a Tim.
I mean, we haven't.
I mean, I don't look like anything, do I?
I'm not gonna lie, this has been the weirdest one.
I will.
You seem really.
I'm gonna look and be like, look, you're doing a job to achieve something for an old lady.
Yeah.
You're doing something noble.
I mean, noble in a sense that I'm getting paid for it.
Well, that you did something.
Okay,
for
now that I would need. That is probably where I
I
would
mean,
need an insight check.
honestly, just
Well, he said the key words to me. He's retrieving something that was stolen for somebody.
But he said he's doing it for the money. That's where I would probably be most suspicious about things.
You make your check.
it's just like first like that, now we can just shoot guys and like, I'm dead.
He beat my insight, so I believe he's doing something good. So I'm
17.
And that's if
You
he's
assume
lying.
he's getting money out of the deal.
Okay, and that's if he's
Well,
lying. If he's not lying, then the check doesn't
Okay,
matter.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Exactly.
Alright.
So
How much money are you getting?
Like 20 gold.
20 gold for this much trouble?
Yeah, I mean, it was a sentiment that she said she wanted back, so I'm just getting it back for her.
I mean, I don't think you'd be too worried if the guards aren't worried. If the guards are too scared to come in.
Yeah, you got quite the bounty on your head.
Yeah, not everybody likes me.
Yeah, we
That's
totally
fair.
made nobles if we took you in. But I see you're doing something good, so I will let you be.
Charm.
Alright, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
you're right.
gonna go about, then just turn around.
Yeah, let's not.
What's inside?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk this. I believe he's doing something good, so I can't just.
Hey, Key, I wonder what they're doing.
Oh no.
Do you think they found anything fun to buy?
Gonna continue. Go to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what kind of wares they got there.
Alright, so you head to the closest blacksmith, and it is just labeled Ivan's Blacksmith.
Okay.
You can see steady amount of customers, anywhere from dwarves to half-orcs to... No elves. They seem to be of a finer breed for weaponry when it comes to this. But you just see a burly African-American gentleman swinging away, and
I'm gonna look and see if I see any pole arms and stuff like that.
see all generic types of weaponry.
I'm just gonna pick it up and just kind of have to see how it feels.
Feels like good mattered steel.
Alright. I'm gonna look into that. You wouldn't happen to have any enchanted weapons here by chance, would you?
Everything I make, I know magic.
Do you know where I can go to find enchanted weapons? Or stronger pole arms?
You can buy polearm get enchant.
How much are your pole arms?
Normal price.
Being what?
Blowing it up.
No, okay.
Because, what is it? There's pole arm, lance,
Albert.
halberd.
So there are javelins, quarterstaffs, spears, glaives, halberds, pikes, tridents.
How much damage does the trident do?
1d6 piercing, but it can be thrown.
It is a trident.
And the glaive?
Glaive is 1d10 slashing. Heavy, reach 2-handed, so it can have the 10-foot reach.
How much is the glaive?
20 gold.
And what's the halberd do?
Halbert, 1d10 slashing, heavy reach 2-handed. 20 gold.
Does he have a rapier?
Yeah, he has basically every type of basic weaponry.
I'll take a rapier.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Alright,
be like,
25 gold.
halberd or glaive? What sucks is I know what a halberd looks like. I don't know what a glaive looks like.
It's a sword spear. I mean, it's a big blade on that. It's
I'm
shiny.
drawing a blank, so I'm sorry, everybody. If you just,
It's literally the sword on the end of the spear.
well, I'm gonna be the dual-bladed one.
axe.
No,
Yeah.
really long
wait,
axe.
turn it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's like,
It's just
Oh,
to do
yeah.
with
those stars now Darth Ball.
What's funny is that's cool lumps. Right.
Breaker's
What do you
not
have
great
to
for
have
me
to
because I'm at 1d6 or
basic.
1d8.
Okay, I'll just go.
I do special orders, but take time. You have to ask for it.
How much time would it take to make a double-bladed blade? That looks like.
Maybe not specifically that one, but basic standard glaive. Probably take 2-3 days. It costs 2 glaives. Plus 10 for time, so 50.
No, trust me, I know all about it. I'm blacksmith as well. Yeah, I'll hand him, so it'd be about 150 gold.
Name?
Oscar.
3 days.
Okay.
Alright? He gets to work.
Wait.
So
yeah.
it is 50 gold?
50 gold.
Okay.
And what did he ask for?
He asked
A
for a
double-
double.
a double,
blade,
okay.
yeah.
Making sure.
Yeah, if you
I'm
want
sorry.
to show him.
I was
Oh,
just
sure.
rapier and
Yeah,
just,
But say, you wouldn't happen to have anything ranged, would you?
I have plenty range.
What do you got?
Bow, crossbow, hand crossbow, heavy crossbow, throwing star.
My
Star.
Just throws that one in there.
Dagger, bowgun, net.
Bowgun?
Oh god! Oh,
Yeah. What do you guys as far as? What about your crossbows?
Heavy, light, and
Can? Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
If you want agility.
I could definitely use with a physical ranged axe.
rock. Rock.
He makes them special.
Spike
He chisels
rock.
them.
Oh, we have rock in 4 sides, rock in 6 sides, rock in 8 sides, rock in 10 sides.
Rocking
Okay.
When you throw these, there's percent chance you die.
How much for
We call it chance.
curiosity? How much is the throwing stars?
Sound stars? Like dagger, 2 gold
For one throwing star?
for 1 throwing star.
Oh god. But if it's only 2 gold, that means it's 5 for 10 and 100. That's
Yeah, that's really. I never would have figured that math out.
I'm not saying you never figure out, I'm saying that's a good deal.
Yeah.
If you want a lot of throwing stars.
I mean, that would be 50 throwing stars are pretty good, but I would tend to get endless supply of ammunition just getting a crossbow.
What's a silver one?
Literally, it's like weapon, but silver covered.
But what does it do? Is it just
Werewolves.
silver? Oh, I should have thought of that. You know, you make a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
The light crossbow is that double-handed or is that single-handed?
2.
Two-handed.
Yeah, hand crossbow's one-handed. Like the one I got, it's not like, is it no? No, it's a big target.
Can I over the table?
Huh?
Sure.
One thing I want to mention about the your feet, the polearm master.
Yes.
There's also one special weapon that it has properties for. That would be the pike.
Pike, right. What is it?
Pike. You know, it's.
Oh yeah, I know, but what's the special property?
I can't.
Okay, so
Oh, here, hold on. We'll let them do it.
We'll do that after the break. If you need to rehash the item, we'll rehash the item.
Yeah.
I was saying in addition, but
Pike is 1d10 piercing.
yes, but it's also range.
Yeah, it's 10 feet range.
Yeah, they're all pike halberd blade. They're all 10 feet. But
We'll discuss this later.
yeah,
Yeah.
pikes,
If I-
halberds,
if I
and
gotta-
glaives are all 10-foot range.
If I gotta rehash it, I'll rehash it later. I don't think the viewers want to see us
Might
picking
think
about
about
this.
Okay, so pike is just one of those feet.
Are throwing stars go back to the throwing stars. Are throwing stars a martial weapon?
They are single.
Okay, yep, I was wrong.
I can't keep going from.
Yeah, I think they're considered shurikens in the D&D Beyond. But
D&D Beyond, what is that?
Not something we're sponsored by.
no,
We're not. We just use it. We don't.
I guess for the time being, you'll just settle with a hand crossbow.
Alright, and crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
75.
75. Alright, here you are.
Where do you go? Tiny go.
Do you want anything?
He got it.
Okay. We're gonna go to the scroll shop.
Rehash. Back to you guys. It's actually picking up the pace. They're walking around and their confrontation and stuff. You're probably like 20 people out.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I moved up fast.
At this strange urge to buy throwing stars.
Well, I wonder why you do. I mean, you
So
would
you're
be
going to the
badass
scroll
at throwing
place?
stuff.
Yes.
Alright.
Upgrade from Moncton into
In large title, you see the name Spell Scrolls Spells.
Okay.
Spells, scrolls, spells?
Spells, Scrolls, Spells.
Not sure if that's facepalm worthy or just really
You
clever.
see this place is made out of entirely like yew logs. Probably the best, one of the best parchment-based trees that you guys know of.
Okay.
legitimate methods. That's
And
high quality.
inside, you see barrels upon barrels of just parchment and inkwells and just anything that you need to make scrolls out of.
Maximum.
You're pretty sure that if not magically protected, this place will go up in flames with a candle. You see, there's a rather old gentleman hunched over at the counter, just writing away.
Hello, sir. Okay.
Hello?
Looking to purchase a few scrolls.
I think he's busy.
Yeah. I guess I'll just walk around.
Oh, hello there!
Hi. Oh. Hi.
Hi! He's actually still writing. What can I do for you today?
We're looking to peruse your scroll selection.
For a friend of mine.
My scroll selection? I'm just the accountant.
The shopkeeper.
Oh yes, he's in the back. I can get you for him.
What exactly is he writing?
You look over,
I
you want
guess
to
he's
look at
an
the paper? It's literally just numbers. It's just repeating 1s, 5, 7, 3, 2, 4, just repeating numbers.
I get strange feels of deja vu as I remember my aunts.
Anyhow.
John, you got customers? As you see come out of the back room in blue robish attire, a little bit embroidered, a little bit with sigils and different symbols that come across. Out comes a green dragonborn.
Oh. Ooh, shiny.
Holding several different stacks of scrolls, but not binoculars.
Mopple.
Yeah, little
Insane.
glasses and whatnot. He comes out and he's like, "Oh, good afternoon, gentlemen.
One
Good
go.
afternoon."
I'm out perusing for a friend of mine.
Oh, of course. He opens up his bag. What could I possibly get for you?
He's a wizard looking for new scrolls and everything.
New scrolls? Any scrolls new if you haven't used it yet.
You know what I mean. He near the town. He wants some scrolls. He's tied up in business right now. Wants me to look for him.
Well, what exactly was he fancying?
He probably wants something third or fourth level.
Yes. 3rd, 4th level, maybe some 5th.
Yeah. Very generic when you say that.
If you would have a list.
Okay, I immediately jump in. Like, I'm particularly looking for dispel magic.
Oh, how many?
Maybe like 3 or 4.
Spell magic. Alright, so let me just go to my spells. That's a 3rd level. If I remember correctly. 3rd level, that would be 200 apiece. Are you looking for a specific class?
Wizard.
Alright. He takes a large booklet that just has a giant W. Here's an index. What
Can I get a piece of paper so I can just copy some of these down?
Ink and pen. What
I'm
about,
just gonna like copy a bunch of them down in Dwarven.
Are
I
there
can
any?
read that. I know. Good.
I'm trying.
And then one word that's gonna be.
Oh, what was the
I can read that. You can read or?
I think it was
any 4th level damaging spells that you would recommend?
You're going to have to be more specific.
Oh.
Do you have something called light?
I mean, I can certainly look that up.
I won't metagame this.
Actually,
It's
I'm gonna go
retarded,
in the
very
wizard
powerful.
section just write down nano spell names.
Sure.
That's what I'd like you to do. If I was
Oh boy.
Wizard, not sorcerer, right?
Wizard.
yeah, he's the source.
Yes.
You said blight?
Yes.
Blight. B-L-B.
What spell?
Blight.
Yeah, so you're looking to fancy the dead, are you?
Well, it's more so just to take out anyone that might take a lot more than what you.
We have two.
I can't do 4.
How much?
That 4th level.
Oh.
So it's going to be
Yeah, I know.
320.
They're really powerful. How much?
320.
320.
We can't use scrolls that are over our level, right?
You have to be able to cast the spell.
Yeah. Hold on.
I have 4th level magic, so I should be able to use it.
As long as you can cast the spell.
Yeah, I can definitely cast a spell.
I'm
What would make? Oh, you're. Oh, yeah.
You've made me a curious cat.
Who, me? Oh, yeah, it's incredibly powerful. It's a single target, but it deals so much damage.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And you
lot.
can cast it
Do
higher.
you wish to procure this scroll?
Okay, anyhow, I'm gonna take the time and write all these down
Got it.
and be like, how much do I owe you for the piece of parchment?
It's like 12.
That's fine. We're fine. We're just making a
Okay.
list. We're making a grocery list.
It's like 12
Thank you.
minutes.
So this way he knows
Yes,
what you
yes,
have.
yeah.
I mean, if I'm making a potential customer out of this, then
I'm always looking for stuff. You know anywhere where I can
Rolls
get
are not
weapons and shit.
man.
Or
Ah.
buff.
oh,
That's gonna be expensive.
Because I'm becoming into a decent weapon.
I do know that that is a possible.
I'm writing it out.
I do know that the alchemist has a little bit of enchanting. You could possibly go to the clothes designer. They know a little bit of enchanting, or the military. They have their own. They have their own people who supply them with weapons, so they might be able to help you.
Okay, cool.
The military barracks?
Oh,
That has no name.
Let's see.
If you want to go to the alchemists, you're going to look for We've Got Pot. And if you're looking for the clothes designer, you're going to look for Gumi.
Gumi.
You mean G-O-M-I-E?
G-U-M-I.
Oh.
Yeah, that didn't take long to figure out.
Oh.
I think I get that reference.
Well, why?
I'd be surprised you didn't get that reference.
This is when you're breaking out all your good puns, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah.
Oh. Well
Play that.
played.
Alright. Going back to me, I will take one now, I guess, please.
320?
320.
320.
Alright.
Hold on. I realized I could look for something for me.
Yes.
They probably have ranger stuff, but I don't want to spend my money on that.
Hmm.
Especially since next level we'll get it.
I'm getting this scroll as a last.
You fancy yourself as adventurers, do you?
That sounds about right.
Hmm.
I mean, you fancy yourself a little bit of coin?
Yep.
We'd like to, we certainly like to find more fun when we can.
Well, if you ever come across a tome, I am one to procure a tome that could possibly increase the speed of which I make scrolls. It's a long and arduous process that I would love to speed up if I can, but I can't really leave my shop.
Well, where would we find this?
Hold on.
Oh, I'm not entirely sure where you could find it. I don't really leave the building myself.
Hmm.
Is this
Oh, we'll
told
keep
that
an eye out for it.
Oh yes, it is the Tome of Accelerated Speech.
That makes a lot of sense.
We'll keep an eye out.
Anything that could make me make scrolls faster, then it's definitely help make you guys purchase more scrolls.
If we do find it with you, will we also be able to get a discount here?
Your discount is being able to buy more scrolls faster, because if I don't have it, then it's going to take twice as long to make them. And I only have a general stock. Like, I don't have like 50 of one scroll. I only have like 1 or 2, so in case you need a new scroll, I'll be able to make it faster for you.
That's good.
And it's not like I won't pay you for the book.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Of course, of course. It's on the notice board in case you ever cross by. If you find the book, then I'll buy it from you. Obviously, more than what it's normally sold for.
Okay.
One last thing.
Yeah, there's always one last.
The alchemy shop. Do you know if they take any if they buy any ingredients?
I'm pretty sure they can buy ingredients from you, but they have a good selection of their own, so you would have to talk to them about it.
Alright. You?
Are you gonna do what I think you're gonna do?
What? I'm thinking someone with a older eye. That's what you're thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope. I'm just gonna go about where would be the barracks from here and the enchanter.
The barracks would be close to the entryway to the inner city.
Okay. So that's close to where they are.
Yeah, we can check on them.
Yeah, and I can go listen. Yeah, let's head towards the barracks.
Alright. So,
Wait, we didn't catch his name, did we?
you heard his name be called.
Yeah, didn't catch your name. What was it?
Kelegorn.
That was one.
Killigorn.
Kelegorn. Kelegorn.
Oscar. You'll know my friend when he comes in. Bird face. 20 years.
I've seen 3 of those this week.
You'll know by a big hat.
That brings it down to 2.
A really, really big hat.
Like it's 5 by 5.
You've got to give me an integer with that. You can't just say 5.
5 feet by 5 feet.
That's an integer that we can get behind, though I don't think he can fit in the door.
Well, I guess you can take it off.
Now I got 5 by 5 hat.
I did not wear a 5 by 5.
Alright, so you guys going to the military?
Yep, but we're gonna stop up by them and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
So, you're going to stop up by them.
So that way I can give them the list of the scrolls that the guy
You
has.
guys are 5 people out.
Oh, yeah.
Already? I expected it to be night before we got there.
It is about dinner time right now. It's about 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, at that point, you guys would probably assume another hour. But that is where we will cut it off for today.
Okay.
Alright.
Here's the list.
Thank you.
So, we're going to cut it off for today. Thank you for tuning in to Nerdz Garage. Remember, that is Nerds with a Z. You can either find us at nerdsgarage.com or at Nerdz Garage on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you again for joining us. And we might have a momentary setback in time for next week. We are going to do it by 7. We are going to try and host. We've got a little bit of time complications. We will be posting it on the website of what time it will be. I'm looking more or less at you because you probably know.
Yeah.
So we will be keeping you guys posted during the week so you guys will know when next week's episode. We're assuming 7 because we've got a little bit of thing going on, but we will update in case anything else changes.
Oscar Fetus.